Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today I want to talk about Bitcoin and actually kind of a sub niche within Bitcoin, and that's actually Bitcoin memes. And now this is something that might seem a little bit different or unusual, but it's something that I've actually been looking at a little bit further into for the past probably month or so at this point, just because what we've been seeing within kind of the wider crypto ecosystem, in my opinion, is just a general overperformance on meme coins just overall. I mean, I think basically we can all agree that the massive winners of the year, just in terms of percentage as well as attention and mind share and all that type of stuff, has been meme coins. And so something that has me kind of thinking is like, okay, well, if Bitcoin is like the mother chain, right, and Bitcoin is very recently started to do more with like meme coins, if the chain with the deepest liquidity even has just a fraction of an adoption of like what it could see compared to like Solana, this could be insanely massive, and this could be kind of like the easiest 100x that like all of us have ever seen sitting right before our eyes, right? And so I just wanted to kind of take a little bit of a look into that. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So starting out, I wanted to look into crypto bubbles just to kind of give an overall read on where the market's at today. What we can see is it kind of is a red biased day in the market. We do still have some gainers up pretty decent, H&T, Rune, Uniswap, Beam, Popcat, Aptos, Link, Cast. Those are kind of the big ones that are up. Other than that, we do have kind of a lot down by a similar amount or more. One thing I'm probably going to be making a video on here in the next probably day or so, maybe I'll even do it today, I don't really know. But we can see that Sui is now kind of starting to lead the way down, and Aptos is kind of starting to be the one that's leading the way up, as well as Kaspa. Aptos, Kaspa, Sui, and Sei are all kind of like the third generation blockchains, and so they've been getting a lot of attention and a lot of mind share and a lot of subsequent like price action, you could say, with kind of leading this narrative. And so it would not surprise me if we start to see money kind of rotate out of Sui into Aptos, and then after that maybe we see it out of Aptos into Kaspa and out of Kaspa into Sei, or something like that, back around to Sui. I imagine that we probably might see like these like narrative runners essentially just kind of jumping from one to the next all the way around, just because I think that's what will make them the most amount of money over the course of this bull run. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's hard to say though, that's something that I'm going to be monitoring over the next weeks, months, however long that is. One thing I did want to take a look at though is the altcoin season index. We come back to this now and again overall, just because it's kind of a good idea to see kind of where we're sitting, right? Like this year we've had a couple, I guess really it's like from over the summer is really the only time this year that we've actually seen like a relatively stable run within like the Bitcoin season time frame. We have moved out of Bitcoin season currently, but we are still very much like close to this. And what we can see is actually in January and then just ever so slightly at the beginning of March were the only two times we were in altcoin season for this year. So there still is definitely like a very heavy bias toward Bitcoin, and by this I mean like a very heavy bias towards Bitcoin itself actually moving, right? And so if we look at the chart, this is the Bitcoin chart, and we can see basically that the whole market is essentially waiting for this to happen. We did see a breakout. However, I was kind of thinking that this could be a fake out. This seems just kind of generally too early to kind of start a run to the upside. It could have happened, but my bias was always that we would probably pull back with inside kind of the descending channel that we have here. I am not sure if maybe we bounce off of this line, maybe we come back here, maybe we come back here. It's really hard to say. There is always still the possibility that even though we kind of have broken down below this momentarily, we could always pull back up and kind of use this line as a bounce. I think that would be the most bullish thing for crypto and for Bitcoin specifically, is if we just bounced right off of this line right here. I kind of don't think that's going to happen. I think we probably pull back within this descending channel, but if we did pull back, or we did pull up and bounce off of this line, that would be incredibly bullish. And I think that we would probably start to see Bitcoin head off to the races even before the US election takes place, which could be a good thing, but it also could be a pretty risky thing as well, just depending on what we see happening short term. Like I've said before, I really don't think it matters long term, but short term I do think it could have a pretty massive impact in terms of price and where that all looks. So anyway, the next thing I want to get into regarding Bitcoin is, what we can see is Bitcoin is massive. It leads the market. It's got over $1 trillion market cap. It's by far the biggest, cryptocurrency that there is. Bitcoin dominance is, I think like 55, 56% at some point, or it's something like that. It's very, very high. The market basically runs on Bitcoin, right? And so the bias and kind of the thesis, I guess I should say, that I'm having today when talking about runes and like the meme coins on Bitcoin is exactly just playing into this narrative, right? Of Bitcoin's the biggest, why not take a very, very small fraction of that and allocate it into meme coins like has been done in much of the wider crypto market? What could we see with that, right? And so I want to take a look at a couple different things. What we can see is, looking at Solana, we have about $11 billion within the Solana ecosystem market cap. Now, if we go back and we look at the total market cap of Solana, we can see that Solana is sitting about 78 billion. So just doing some quick like calculator math here, what we can see is that 11.2 billion divided by 78 billion, meme coins currently make up about 14% of like Solana's market cap. And this is just Solana meme coins. So now this obviously adds to Solana's market cap. It's not taking out like, if Solana meme coins disappeared, it's not like the Solana market cap would go down 14% tomorrow. This is just kind of like a sense of like, how big is the Solana market, like the meme coin market cap, and how big is it as a comparison of the Solana market cap. Kind of is a very rough approximation of how reliant is Solana on meme coins. And so that's kind of the like rough approximation that I'm doing there. What we can see is, if we look at runes, this is kind of like the protocol that enables meme coins on like the Bitcoin ecosystem, we can see their market cap is only 776 million, with actually a pretty decent pullback recently. We can see over the past 30 days a pretty strong run up in most of these, kind of going down the list. But if we look within the 7-day time frame, most of them overall have kind of pulled back a pretty decent amount, right? And so what we're looking at here is, well, Solana has seen almost 14% of their ecosystem run off of meme coins. And obviously, I think we would all feel fairly comfortable in saying that Solana is kind of the meme chain, right? And I don't think Bitcoin would ever pull any sort of like allocation like this, just because it's Bitcoin. I mean, there's a million different reasons why, but I think it's probably pretty easy for all of us to understand why that would be the case. However, just for pure math's sake, we're going to use this number, and then maybe we'll maybe back it down from there. But if we take the 14% and we multiply it by the market cap of Bitcoin, which is 1.3 trillion, we can see that we get to a market cap of 186, almost 187 billion dollars. So definitely a very, very large market cap. And this is something that essentially would put the market cap of meme coins on Bitcoin in the number 3 spot between Ethereum and USDT, which is definitely I think very insane and probably quite unrealistic, right? But again, just for math's sake, we're kind of continuing along this road down here. Now what we can see is the current market cap is 776 million. So if we divide it by 7, so if we were to catch up, if Bitcoin meme coins were to catch up with Solana meme coins as a percentage of the total ecosystem, that's a 240x, right? Probably not going to happen, right? But again, like let's take 60% of this away. So instead of 14%, we're going to times it by 0.6. So that's only going to be about 8% of the ecosystem, right? We're still at 109 billion. And if we divide that by the 776 million, we're still at 140x, right? So I mean, this is something where it's like, if we start looking at like percentage of return, we get to a point where like, okay, let's say that the whole, the full crypto ecosystem only gets to like 78 billion, which is like Solana's market cap, which again is like, that would be what, like 5%, a little bit over 5% of like market cap as a total percentage of Bitcoin. So again, we're only even getting to 5%, which is massively underallocated from what we've seen from the Solana ecosystem. But again, just for the sake of the argument here, we're at 100x, right? So like, hopefully this kind of goes to show some of the, like, at least what I see to be is a potentially really, really easy 100x sitting kind of right in front of our eyes. Because taking a look at this, there's so much money within the Bitcoin ecosystem that I think a lot of this development on top of Bitcoin that we really have only seen within the past like year or two could really like melt faces, right? Between Bitcoin memes, between Bitcoin layer 2s, between Bitcoin whatever else they're doing nowadays, between ordinals, like there's so many different things that are being built on Bitcoin that even if like they don't win and become like I'm not trying to like insinuate here that like runes could be like the predominant protocol on Bitcoin, right? I'm just talking about them being like a minor sideshow that no one really cares too much about, but it's on Bitcoin, right? And that's kind of the like get out of jail free card that a lot of things building on Bitcoin have, right? It's because at the end of the day, you can always say, but it's on Bitcoin. So that's something that I want to kind of go over and talk to you about today. I don't know that like I'll probably ever talk about any runes specifically. As a full like disclosure, I do own several of these Bitcoin runes. I'm not like massively over allocated into any of them. I just wanted to kind of share that as a disclaimer. Obviously, based on kind of the reasoning that I provided earlier, I do believe that this could be a really, really high return play. And so obviously if I believe that, why would I not have some, right? So that's something that I just wanted to share in case any of you get concerned or weirded out by the fact that I'm talking about something that I own. There's your disclosure for that. So anyway, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe. It really, really does help me out. Also, if you have any comments, questions, whatever, please do just drop them in the comment section. I do try to read and respond to all of them. So if you have anything that you want me to see, that would be a great way to do it. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.